The Monroe house was the brightest on Willow Creek Lane every Christmas. Twinkling lights traced every window. A hand-painted sleigh sat on the porch. Inside, the scent of cinnamon rolls and pine needles filled the air. On Christmas Eve, 2009, neighbors saw the family of four laughing on the front lawn, hanging the last of the ornaments. By Christmas morning, the house was dark. The lights were still on the roof, but the joy was gone. No presents unwrapped. No sound from inside. No footprints in the snow. Henry and Claire Monroe, along with their children Lena and Eli, had vanished sometime during the night. Their car remained in the driveway. Breakfast was half served on the table. A fire still smoldered in the hearth. The front door was locked from the inside. There was no forced entry. No calls. No signs of a struggle. The Monroe family was simply gone. The disappearance of the Monroe family sent shockwaves through the quiet town of Willow Creek. It wasn't the kind of place where things just happened, especially not like this. Neighbors gathered on the snowy sidewalk, whispering theories as police sealed off the home. Search teams combed the nearby woods, creek beds, and back roads. Helicopters hovered. Dogs were brought in. Nothing. No signs of struggle. No footprints leading away. No fingerprints other than the family's. Local news stations camped outside for days, calling it the Christmas vanishing. Rumors spread fast. Some said the Monroes had staged it. Others blamed a home invasion gone wrong. Even cult whispers surfaced. But there were no ransom notes, no surveillance footage, no activity on phones or bank accounts. The case went cold within weeks. And by spring, the lights on the Monroe house were taken down, but the town never stopped asking, how does an entire family disappear without a trace? As the years passed, the Monroe house became a quiet monument to unanswered questions. It sat untouched, furniture still in place, family photos still on the walls, as if frozen in time. No relatives came forward to claim the property. No wills. No activity. In 2013, the family was officially declared deceased, but few in Willow Creek truly believed it. Teenagers dared each other to peek through the windows. Paranormal investigators filmed YouTube videos no one took seriously. Some swore the porch light flickered every Christmas Eve. But one question lingered for over a decade. If the Monroes didn't leave, where were they? Claire Monroe was the kind of woman who remembered every neighbor's birthday. Soft-spoken, deeply religious, and known for her homemade pies, she believed Christmas was more spiritual than seasonal. She'd often say, that night, the veil is thinner. Her husband, Henry Monroe, was a contractor, quiet, methodical, the type of man who built his own home one brick at a time. He never talked much, but everyone in town trusted him. He was dependable, grounded. Their daughter Lena was 16, a whip-smart, fiercely independent teenager. She clashed often with her parents but never strayed far. She was the kind of girl who skipped school to read in the woods and once hacked the school Wi-Fi just to prove she could. Her friends described her as intense, but loyal. 12-year-old Eli was the quiet one. Artistic, odd, and eerily observant. He rarely spoke in class, but when he did, it was something strange and unforgettable. A teacher once said he drew things no child should understand: dark forests, masked figures, empty houses with eyes. To the outside world, they were a normal family preparing for Christmas. But those closest to them say that something felt off that December. Like the Monroes were expecting something no one else could see. In early 2023, after sitting vacant for nearly 14 years, the Monroe house was finally purchased by a young couple planning to renovate it into a rental property. Contractors began tearing down old drywall when they stumbled upon something that wasn't in the original floor plan: a doorway, sealed from the inside, leading to a basement no one knew existed. The air behind the wall was stale and freezing, like something had been trapped. When they forced the door open, the stairs groaned with age, and the smell of rot poured out like a warning. What they found beneath the house wasn't just a storage room, it was a hidden living space: a rusted bunk bed, empty canned food tins, children's toys layered in dust, and symbols carved into the support beams. One wall was covered in childlike drawings, stick figures surrounded by spirals and hollow-eyed masks. The Monroes hadn't disappeared. They had been down there. The basement felt less like a room and more like a sealed memory. Investigators moved carefully, documenting every detail. In one corner sat a rusted space heater and piles of blankets, mildewed and fused together. A small cassette recorder, warped from moisture, lay on its side beside a child's shoe. Scratched into the cement floor were deep lines, claw marks, some said. Others thought it looked like someone trying to keep count. On a rotting mattress, police found a spiral-bound notebook with the pages mostly unreadable. Only one entry was salvageable, written in a child's uneven handwriting. He talks through the walls. Mama prays, but he doesn't stop. Near the far end of the room, beneath a makeshift shelf, an unfinished drawing depicted a house surrounded by dark shapes. One shape had eyes. Another wore a crown of sticks. None of it made sense. But it was clear something had happened down here. Something terrible. As word of the basement spread, so did the speculation. The drawings, symbols, and hidden room reopened every theory that had haunted the case. Experts were brought in to analyze the carvings etched into the beams. One matched a sigil used by an obscure 1970s cult known as the Echoing God, believed to have disbanded decades ago. Records revealed Henry Monroe once did renovation work near a compound linked to the group. Claire's old journal, recovered from a box in the attic, contained increasingly cryptic entries in the weeks before the family vanished. The veil thins soon. He waits below. We must be ready. Locals whispered about rituals, isolation, in the belief that certain nights, like Christmas Eve, were openings. But the most disturbing find came from the back of the cassette recorder, a child's voice whispering, "Don't go upstairs. He's still hungry." The tape cut out after that. No one could explain what it meant. In the farthest corner of the basement, behind an old wardrobe bolted into the foundation, officers discovered a small, square crawl space, just large enough for a child. Inside, illuminated by the weak beam of a flashlight, were dozens of carvings etched into the wooden planks. Names, repeated over and over. Eli, Lena, Eli, Lena, and below them, a single phrase carved deeper than the rest. We never left. There were no remains, no blood, no physical evidence of what happened to the Monroe family. Just that message. The house was sealed again within days. The new owners never returned. Today, it stands as it did in 2009, dark, silent, and untouched. Every Christmas Eve, someone leaves 4 candles on the Monroe porch. No one sees who. No one claims to know why. And by morning, they're always burned down to nothing. Some believe the family is still down there, waiting,